Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to Plague Inc. Evolved with me, Elathrix, and of course, welcome to the Climate Modification Nanites, the scenario in which we change the global environment until humans can no longer inhabit anywhere, which is honestly a nice and interesting scenario, and this here sums it up pretty darn well. If we can infect enough countries, the climate will be altered on a global scale, freezing or roasting countries before you even get there. Greenland won't be so hot when the poles are frozen over. It is utterly glorious. It simply means, if we have enough other countries, we don't need to infect Greenland. And isn't that really the best gift of all? So that is utterly glorious. Now, I have played this briefly a few days ago, and honestly, it seemed really good, although I was a little bit confused about some of the mechanics, so hopefully we'll learn nice and easily. Now, it does say, I believe, there are 4 separate endings. Yep, 4 endings. Will you end the world in fire or ice, devour humanity directly, or maintain balance and save the planet? That's really interesting. So we can be the good guys. Yeah, that's gonna happen. Yep, yes, we are going to be the good guys. The humans will love us. So, let's freeze the world, shall we? Modify the genetic code. Okay, we're just going to swap out pathostasis for one of these two. That's fine. There we are. So, the thing with the nanobot is that as soon as you start the match, the humans know you exist and will start to try and cure you. That's their big thing. So, hopefully, we can get this done nice and quickly. Also, just look at that needle there. That's just... I don't have a particular fear of needles, but that's horrible. Even the legs are little needles. So, needles! Let's begin. And so we begin, and apparently we are undergoing the final trials. The nanites are nearing the end of their developmental period and are intended to alter temperatures on a global scale, reversing the effects of climate change. In order to prevent unexpected issues, the nanites will be tested in a new location. Where will that location be? Well, like always, we will be starting off in Saudi Arabia, since in my opinion, it does have the best flight paths. So let's grab that, and we instantly escape. Well, humans, it's your own error, so it's your own fault. So on the way to the testing site, a vehicle accident caused the particles to be released into the environment, the final trial was not conducted, and engineers are concerned that some bugs may still be present in the nanites' code. So I guess we are the bug in the code. Excellent. Engineers involved with the project assure the public that there is no cause for alarm. They always seem to do this in Plague Inc. games, and look at what happens. The kill signal is already in development and is expected to be completed before any significant damage takes place. As you can see in the bottom right, we are already 1% cured, as that's the whole mechanic with the nanobot, the nanovirus, the nano whatever we're actually called. We are instantly discovered, instantly cure work will take place, although thankfully we do have abilities to counter this. So let's start off in abilities. We have Code Fragment Interception, hack fragments of the cure broadcast and disrupt the signal, slowing the future broadcast. And we have Radical Element Stabilized, begin to isolate the kill switch by stabilizing active genetic protections, increase time before the cure broadcast is effective, so slows down the cure and removes the cure, very similar to the hardening and reshuffle of most of the normal plagues. Then we have Cold Resistance, which is just cold resistance, Heat Resistance, which is just heat resistance, and I'm assuming, yep, this will allow us to infect wealthy countries more effectively. We then have Data Sharing. The nanites gain the ability to share information amongst other members of the swarm. This will grant us 15 DNA points over the next few weeks, and unlocks Bubble abilities. Now, I'm assuming with bubble abilities, it's not going to be adorable bubbles, but it's going to be red, orange, and blue bubbles, so the normal way we get DNA throughout the game. I didn't select this the time I played this a few days ago, and I was utterly DNA starved, so I assume, yep, this is obviously what we should get first. With Transmission, we have Altered Priorities. Historical data suggests that human activity is the primary cause of modern climate change. Primary objective, repair climate. Override human protection protocols. Well, if our lovely nanites believe that humans are causing the problem, if we remove the humans, the problem is gone. Pretty sound thinking, if you ask me. We then have water resistance. The nanites develop the ability to breed effectively in moist environments, increasing infectivity, especially in humid environments, and ship transmission. And then we have the ability to either heat up or cool the environment by changing the pigment of our lovely little nanites. If we choose a darker pigment, it means we will absorb more of the solar radiation, which means we are simply heating up the planet by trapping it within ourselves, and then if we were to use a lighter pigment, it means we can reflect the solar rays back into space, and thus, you know, remove heat, cool things down, freeze everyone's butts. We then have drifting, gives nanites the ability to float in the air, increases infectivity especially in arid environments, and plane transmission. Now I'm really curious about this one. So apparently there's 4 endings: freezing the world, heating up the world, destroying the world, and saving everyone. Of course we're not going for the last one because where's the fun in that? I think then this one will likely unlock the symptoms, and that will be our lethality route. But that's a bit of a boring option considering how unique the others are, so I think I will be going with the cold option. Let's freeze everyone. But first, let's save up DNA for that lovely data sharing, since we get the DNA back anyway. Oh my god, we are being cured so fast. Okay, yeah, so data sharing, then we'll grab drifting, then we'll grab code fragment interception. Let's slow down that cure. Thank you very much. So the new bubbles then. We have data collection, lab condition. The nanites collect information when experimented on in lab conditions. This activates blue bubble DNA bonus. So every time we break a blue bubble, we get a little bit of DNA, so take that, humans. We then have data collection environment 1. When entering a new location, nanites gather information and broadcast their findings, which increases DNA from red bubbles. Now that is lovely, especially if it stacks with this here, metabolic jump, get more DNA from popping red bubbles. If they stack, then that's glorious. Then finally we have data collection general 1, which of course is the orange bubbles. That is pretty darn lovely. But yeah, let's slow down that cure a little bit, please. Then we'll go with, oh, 25% already! Damn, that's fast! So we're definitely going with drifting next. There we are, let's speed this up. Get drifting, then we'll grab cold quite quickly as well. Let's start freezing everything. So start freezing everything, then we can grab cold resistances, especially since we do want to travel in countries like Russia. There we are, powered flight. The nanites gain the ability to maneuver effectively through the air, increases infectivity in arid environments, plane transmission, and land transmission. Let's save up 7 DNA now to try and get more from red bubbles, which is, like, now. Since we are already starting to infect new countries, then we'll start to slow down the cure even further. Okay, so second level, environment 2, nanites increase the effectiveness of their environmental data collection, increases DNA from red bubbles further. That would be very, very nice. I was saying that maybe we should start freezing things now? I don't know how long it takes, that's the thing. I don't know. That wasn't too much better, if at all. Maybe we'll stick with getting these things. And okay, let's start freezing everything. Ooh, ×2, lovely. Nanites ascend into the atmosphere during the day, forming clouds that reflect the sunlight and cool the surface further. So we are now chilling everything. Okay, we are now in Japan and we are in France, so cold resist and chemical resist are needed desperately very, very soon. Yeah, it doesn't seem like the red bubble bonus really gives us all that much. Since we should be getting 1 and 2 very often we should be getting 2 just because of metabolic jump. Well, let's get cold resist. Maybe should have got the chemical resist first considering, but oh well. We need both of them anyway, it doesn't matter which order too much. There we are, chemical resist, and next up, let's remove some of that cure, please. Ooh, cold snap in Saudi Arabia. We are already affecting things. Lovely, still counted as a hot country, but that's still fantastic. There we are, let's remove some of that cure. Oh, there it goes, beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, it's no longer arid. Saudi Arabia just lost its arid type. Fantastic. What an awesome way to do a disease. So how do we unlock further levels of this then? If there are even further levels, I'm assuming we need to grab this and go down. Sure. Next up, urban harvesting. Reduces priority of protecting modern human standards of living. Buildings will be deconstructed in order to construct new nanites. Sounds interesting to me. Let's do that. Break down the walls. Saudi Arabia experiencing record low temperature. Yep, it's no longer a hot country, and now, in fact, it's a humid country. Oh, stop it. There we are, which leads to city dismantling and material assimilation. City dismantling. Nanites go into overdrive, demolishing human buildings, which gradually promotes disorder and eventually causes cure research to stop. Okay, so similar to Transcendence. As it infects a country, the country will donate less money to the cure effort, thus slowing down the future cure. That's really good, and it's more infectivity, which is nice. This one, way more infectivity, and I assume it'll also increase our cold rate. The Nanites use the materials found in cities to further their own evolution, increases infectivity especially in urban environments. Severe flooding in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, let's grab that, it'll also increase our infectivity rate, which is lovely. And apparently we need more cold resist desperately. Yeah, we're not really infecting many places outside the places we began, so there we are, cold level 2. That should speed up a lot of infectivity in several places. Could have said that in a more normal human way there, but you know, where's the fun in that? Kind of tempted to just get chemical resist level 2. How about just making sure we can spread everywhere? That would be interesting, but you know what? Let's material assimilation 2, and yet I was correct, solar deflection. Nanites use metallic atoms to create high altitude mirrors, deflecting the sun rays effectively. Temperatures lower dramatically. We do have a lot of countries now falling under our influence, so I think that is probably the best option. There we are. World experiencing record low temperatures. Thanks to the Nanites, global temperatures have dropped several degrees in the past few months. Scientists are hoping that this may mark a reversal of global warming, although they remain concerned that the Nanite swarm may overcompensate. Oh, okay. So I guess to try and save the world then, after this occurs, then we get the heat stuff? Because look, there is something in the middle we haven't got, so maybe we need both. Ah, yeah, maybe we need both. Well, too bad. This time we're freezing the world. Maybe we'll try again afterwards, but honestly, I also want to see what would happen if we go down the route of killing all humans, just a regular disease type. A new ice age? Lovely. Global temperatures have plummeted. If the current trend continues, the northern regions will soon be uninhabitable for humans. Oh, look, yep, we are causing lethalities. Don't know where, but in some places people are perishing. Oh, including Saudi Arabia. Glorious. Okay, let's slow down that cure a little bit more, please. Let's remove some of the cure, I should say. Drought in Peru. World experiencing extreme low temperatures. Global temperatures have dropped to critical levels. Extreme low temperatures may soon render the world uninhabitable. You'd think the already cold places. There we go, Greenland, yep, people are dying without even being infected. That is really weird to see. So soon the country will start to grey out, even though there's no, disease there. That's just bizarre. Okay, I think we can safely assume at this point we're probably going to win, right? Yeah, look, we're really quickly infecting everyone. Sorry, not infecting everyone, killing everyone. And we could increase that further, or just make sure we don't die by getting things like structural complexity 1. Nanites become harder to analyze in the lab, decreases future research speed. But rather than do that, let's find out what happens if I grab these, which leads to stabilize temperature. Automatically adjust behavior in order to manage global temperatures. Stabilize the global temperature, can't speak apparently, and destroy all cure research to win. Oh, so that and that? Destroy all cure research. So yes, it would be city dismantling, right? You know what? No, let's just remove this. Remove these, I'm afraid. We're freezing the world. This is how we're winning this time. Continue to freeze. Heavy snowfall. Because we haven't really focused on the ability to spread correctly, I really couldn't have won like that at this point, because there's just no chance we're getting to places like Greenland and such. Let's do that, there we go. Become immune for a while, and increasing our infectivity for a while. We're now overloaded. Now, after that stops, we become more vulnerable and less infectious. Kill switch status. Partial hack of kill switch source code significantly reduces future cure broadcast effectiveness. And yep, the world is quickly descending into silence as it freezes over. No longer can humans roam. The world is saved. The world ends in ice. Has lowered the temperature of the planet, making it uninhabitable. The last humans die in the cold as the Earth freezes over. I really enjoyed that. I really did. It's the first time I've seen a scenario change the climate so significantly, because at the end there, if you noticed, the different countries were all classed as cold. And clearly at a certain point, they just started to die off, which is... I haven't seen that before, and I have played a lot of Plagues, so that is lovely. Let's play it again. This time, let's find out about unlocking symptoms. Since we've already played through the disease once, I'm going to edit this probably very heavily, and what we're going to do is we're going to go with altered priorities and then water resistance. Since this is the only section I didn't activate last time, I assume something here is how we get symptoms active. That's my only assumption. So, let's just continue. Back in a second. After getting water level 1, we have water affinity. The Nanites develop mechanisms for moving effectively through water, increases infectivity by a lot, especially in humid environments and of course ship transmission. Intercellular accumulation. Nanites adapt to survive inside living organisms and use complex organic proteins to accelerate breeding. Increases infectivity, especially in rural regions, and I'm assuming then either this or this will unlock symptoms. Certainly seems like it. Human infection. Well, there we go. Humans are the primary cause of human activity. Human activity creates climate change. New objective: eliminate humans. With symptoms active, we can see... Okay, so it's just the regular symptoms. We become a more regular disease then. Except for, of course, we'll still have all of these, like urban harvesting, so that's interesting. Might go sneezing next then, since it's nice and cheap and gives us loads of infectivity. Thank you. Sorry, coughing, leading to sneezing. And of course, now we have a bit more severity, it means we should get a little bit more DNA from red bubbles, which is lovely. Here's some pneumonia for those infected as well. And let's also give them a skin rash, you know, as it is. Make them sweat a little bit, you know, all the lovely uncomfortable symptoms. I mean, it only gets worse from here, so, I mean, this is a blessing, really. In comparison. Then it's more like a regular game of Plague Inc. Okay, we're almost cured, so we really should be thinking about grabbing this soon. Soon. First of all, though, I really do want to grab abscesses. Lovely. Now we need some resistances as well. So this first, then resistances. New minor diseases spreading. Nice of you to notice. That'll knock back the cure by loads. Ooh, systematic infection. A nice chunk of lethality there. Whoops-a-daisy. We could go for necrosis. Necrosis is like one of the best things in this game. Sure. Necrosis. Loads of lethality, loads of infectivity, loads of severity. Oh, and by the way, the dead are also infectious. Lovely chunks of DNA. So I was getting some really bad frame drops just then. No idea what was causing it. It seems to have gone away by itself, so expect a bit of a skip in the footage, I suppose. Now, I've just grabbed cold level 2, which is decreasing our effectiveness in hot climates, which isn't particularly great. But we don't really need that so much anymore, so that's okay. Let's grab urban harvesting and then city dismantling. We have necrosis, so we are spreading very quickly, and the dead remain a vector of infection. We have apparently devoured Turkey. I mean, Turkey is delicious. Nanites have begun to consume all human constructions in Turkey. As buildings are assimilated into the swarm, humans are forced out onto the streets, which means they are no longer curing us. Yep, as you can see, even if they weren't being killed, as their cities are destroyed, they no longer can contribute to the cure effort, which is lovely. There we are, water level 2. Let's have a look at Madagascar for a second. Yep, 2 down. Fantastic. What a nasty combo. Should we grab that as well? Yeah, let's just keep on increasing infectivity. That's fine. Now, if we please go to Greenland, that would be great, since now we are trying to go with the lethal route. I mean, I could still freeze them. That's the thing. I very well could. Let's do that, and let's slow down the cure. Now, I believe this only slows down the kill switch research, and not the... Sorry, no, this only slows down the regular research and not the kill switch. I'm unsure exactly how the mechanics work there. I could be wrong with that. So don't take that as 100% truth, and we are in Greenland! Lovely. Oh no, we're not in Iceland! I was about to say we've got all the islands, but apparently we didn't. Oh, Iceland, I'm gonna have to melt you now. That's just mean. Well, I guess we could try and find out then. If... Let's see. If we need to infect every single country for the, nice victory, shall we? There we go. And stabilization is active. The test is successful. Has successfully stabilized the planet's climate. While the engineers involved with the project are happy that the concept works, they will not be satisfied with the current rogue iteration of the program. The kill switch is still in development. Yeah, so what I would need then is city dismantling and stabilized temperatures. That's a lot of DNA. Though saying that, I wouldn't have gone down the route of the symptoms if I wanted that victory, so I wouldn't have been found out so fast, and especially they wouldn't have closed the borders so much, because I'd have far, far less lethality. I mean, if I undo this, does this mean that now I can freeze the world again? Yep. Well, that's your own fault. You weren't happy, were you? Well, how about now? Oh, it's your own fault. Could have melted you as well. That'd have been more fun now I think about it. Oh well, let's try that again. So this time I am going for the global... There we are. The global stability ending. But the thing is, we need a lot of DNA for it, so I've decided to just go for a bit of a hybrid run. We're still going to go with a little bit of extra severity just for the DNA, but this time I'm being a lot more careful not to go anywhere near the more major symptoms. We should still be able to win this way. Should. Now, of course, another way of doing this would be to just go into abilities, data sharing, and then the extra DNA from red bubbles, but honestly, this is more of an experiment. I want to see if we can go down this route and still get the other victories. Since last time I kind of ended the game before the end screen, so I seriously don't know right now, and sort of kicking myself for that, but at least now we can do it in a more extreme way. Every single country is infected. All we need to do now is save up enough to get the end transmission. And then infect everyone. Which shouldn't be too much of a challenge. Okay, save a bit more so we can just grab them all at once. As soon as we have an imbalance here, that'll cause problems. Come on, it's a bit more DNA, please, for infecting everyone. That'll be great, thank you. Almost. Do we get a little bit of DNA back to begin with? Yes, we do. Good. Lovely. 26 we need. Oh, I went with the option so that doesn't decrease, didn't I? Yes, I did. Well, that's pretty darn fantastic. Well done, me. Well done, me. Of course, I wouldn't need to do this if I just went with the abilities, so yeah, this is definitely the stupider way of doing this, but hey-ho. Test successful. Now I just need to make sure no one is curing us. I assume we don't need to get the cure percentage down to 0, because that'll be a nightmare at this point. Just need to wait until all countries know I'm curing us, I suppose. Oh, maybe... Aha! There we go! World climate stabilized. Has surrounded the Earth and destroyed modern human civilization. Using a combination of mirrors, lenses, and advanced AI, the planet's temperature will be made more stable for generations to come. Well, there we are. The global climate stabilized, and all it cost was a few... well, quite a few lives, and the complete destruction of all modern humanity. Is it worth it? Probably not in the scientists' eyes, but you know what? We did what we were asked to do. The global climate is permanently stabilized, and with that little stammer as my speech now simply goes away to a place I can't follow. Thank you so much for watching. That was a really, really good plague in my opinion. Definitely one of the better ones I've played, and I certainly would recommend it. So thank you to the creator, and of course thank you all for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, then of course likes, favourite, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that Plague Inc. Evolved is a series you wish to see continued in the future. Next time, I don't know. But I have a feeling there'll be a lot of damage.